Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. The Black Ops Cold War beta is about to come to a close. We've got just over a day left before it's going to be finished up, and then it's only a few weeks to launch and we're going to have the full game available. However, as we saw between the alpha and the beta, the game can actually change quite a bit in a pretty short amount of time, right? And with that, today I wanted to go over my final thoughts on the beta and sort of bring up my major problems with the game, my concerns with it, but also the things that I thought were improved and the things that stood out to me. So as we go over it all today, if you guys enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, if you want to stay on top of the latest news, intel, updates, and basically everything else in Call of Duty, this is the place to be. So feel free to subscribe as we are on the road to 600,000 subs before Cold War releases. Also, COD Immortal is still 30% off on G Fuel right now, so if you guys want to grab anything there to prep for the full release of the game, or even the second half of Season 6 over in Modern Warfare, now is a great time to do so. Anyways, let's start first with the pros and some of the things that I liked about the beta, then also some of the improvements that I noticed too. First and foremost, the biggest highlight of this weekend for me was, without a doubt, Fireteam Dirty Bomb. This was a really fresh take on COD gameplay. From really the moment I jumped into it, I was having an absolute blast. To me, this definitely feels like it's a bit of plunder and ground war from Modern Warfare and Warzone combined into one singular mode, but it also feels a bit more rewarding than plunder and also a bit more unique than ground war, if that makes any sense. Personally, I really like the maps as well, especially Alpine. I'm just saying, Treyarch, we need more snow maps in Call of Duty. Please make that happen. Alpine was super fun to play on, and also Ruka was really cool too. Also, the way the mode rewards you for doing a bit of slaying and also a bit of OBJ hunting, that I felt like flowed really well, and overall, Fireteam at its core was a ton of fun. That was, like I said, easily the most enjoyable part of the beta in my opinion. However, that said, it definitely was not perfect by any means, you know? It did still have some flaws. Obviously, the major frame stutters were a huge issue when the games got close to finishing. Basically, there for a few minutes, it just become unplayable. Kind of felt like we were playing on a flip book for part of it, so I know that that's going to get fixed. Treyarch already mentioned that they saw that happening and it was not intended, obviously, so I'm confident that's going to get fixed for launch. Another thing that I wasn't really a huge fan of was the tanks and the helicopters. Both of those just felt a little bit too dominant. I think there was one game where I got into a helicopter with my buddy Lazy, and from that one chopper alone, I got like 25 kills, he got like 20, and we were stopping the enemies from taking one bomb site for like a solid 6 or 7 minutes. So I feel like both that and the tank could either use some sort of cooldown or just an ammo count. That way they're not lasting forever and they don't have an infinite amount of rockets. However, besides that, I felt like Fireteam was a ton of fun, and I'm really excited to see how that gets updated for launch. Now, of course, Xbox and PC players were able to test out the beta this weekend too, and right away, going from PS4 last weekend to PC this weekend, I felt like the game played so much better. I will admit, part of that is probably just because I'm used to playing on PC because I have for like the last 7 months in Modern Warfare and Warzone, so naturally PS4 felt a bit clunky to me. However, PC overall felt really smooth. That said, I did notice a few frame stutters, but honestly, that was nothing too alarming, and I also noticed I could play with pretty much everything on high and or ultra and still hold 144 frames consistently. Now, keep in mind, that is on a 2080 Ti, however, the optimization to me felt pretty good, and just PC in general was a very positive experience in my mind. Then another big plus to me is that of the customizable HUD options, where you can turn off your crosshairs or your player names, or even the health bars if you want, which to me is just a perfect way to give players the exact experience they want when it comes to just general gameplay. Personally, I like seeing the health bars for that added info. Other players obviously don't, and now it's not a constant thing for everyone, and that is a great addition if I do say so myself. Now, I also noticed a decent improvement with the connection from weekend 1 to weekend 2. Last week on PS4, I felt like the ghost bullets were incredibly common. I was dying around corners, left, right, and center. And that's not to say those issues were completely eliminated this weekend. I definitely noticed those problems here and there. However, they were not nearly as frequent. So the improvement to the connection was definitely noticeable. Big ups to Treyarch for that one. Then getting into my dislikes and my major concerns with this beta going into launch. These are what I'm a bit more focused on because obviously I want to try and make the game as good as it can be. So first and foremost here, we've got to talk about Cartel. I'm sure you guys probably know where I'm going with this one. Never in my life did I think we would be talking about how we need to nerf the bushes. Yes, you heard that right. The bushes on Cartel are pretty nuts when it comes to throwing off aim assist, taking away player names, and kind of just giving players a one-way angle if you're the one in the bush. You can't really see anything when a player runs into the bushes, but I feel like if you're the one inside of it, you have a pretty decent angle looking out. So I don't know if we need to take some trimmers to these or what, but we gotta change that, or I'm definitely gonna be voting against Cartel every single time it comes up in the lobby. Also, speaking of player visibility, I feel like just in general, it was kinda hard to spot players in certain situations. Whether they were blending into the backgrounds or the shadows were hiding them, I don't know. I just noticed myself wondering where I was dying from when I was getting shot from directly in front of me or from an area I was just looking at. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure how they'd go about fixing that, but it is something that I noticed was happening pretty often. Now, I also want to talk about the driving mechanics. I had mentioned this a bit in the Fireteam video from earlier today, and by the way, feel free to go and check out that one if you haven't already, but the driving mechanics in this game are basically just a copy and paste from Blackout, and compared to the mechanics over in Warzone, yeah, I'm not a fan. It feels weird to be driving with the thumbsticks instead of with the triggers. I feel like that's just a more awkward way to go about doing things. So personally, this is something I would like to see changed. I'm not sure the probability of that actually happening, but the driving definitely gets 2 thumbs down from me. Also, side note, I still don't think the vehicles should be able to capture objectives or have lethal weapons on them. I kind of feel like that promotes vehicle camping and then just offers up some pretty cheesy kills. And yeah, just my 2 cents there. Then another thing that I'm really not a huge fan of is the flinch system, but mainly just when it comes to the snipers. Obviously, sniping on controller got a very big buff with the beta, as controllers now get aim assist on the snipers, but then when you factor in that with the lack of flinch that every single weapon in the game has, it makes sniping kind of OP in certain fights. I just found it to be really annoying when I'm sitting there dinking somebody with an AK for 3 or 4 shots, and they're just staying locked onto me because those bullets have no virtual effect on their aim. Again, I'm not really sure how you'd go about balancing that, but that is a concern that I've got as of now. Now, finally, I can't go without mentioning it. We're not going to harp on it too long just because it's kind of a broken record type thing here, but skill-based matchmaking is some cheese, folks. Either give me an actual ranked for constantly having to play against sweaty players, or separate matchmaking into a ranked and a casual mode, since Call of Duty is built as a casual game before anything. Of course, though, you guys already know my stance there, so I don't want to blabber on about that. But yeah, there you have it. That is effectively how I feel about the state of Black Ops Cold War at the moment, and that is going to wrap things up for today. By all means, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of the game so far. What are your likes? What are your dislikes? All that good stuff. Speaking of likes, if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here, if you want to help us reach 600,000 subs before Black Ops Cold War releases, feel free to subscribe. That way you can stay on top of the latest Call of Duty news, intel, updates, and basically everything else in between. As I mentioned earlier, right now COD Immortal is actually 30% off on G Fuel, so if you guys want to grab anything there, be it a new tub, a shaker cup, a starter pack, hey, if you want to try G Fuel for the first time, now is a great time to do so. COD Immortal has got you covered. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.